Now, an interesting question was asked today at Home Talk about camfering framing. And this is going to be completely extemporaneous. I've never needed a camfer, a framing member, in 22 years of using the software, 20 years, excuse me. But let's take a look at it and see what can be done. I'm going to go over here to the Build menu and Framing, and we're just going to draw a joist. Left click, drag, turn that layer on. There is a joist. Okay. Now I know I'm going to draw another joist at an angle. And I know you can, we'll click, let's see, whoops. You can do that in Chief Architect Premiere, but not, there's no trim tool. I'm sorry I even brought it up because it doesn't exist in Pro, and now I see it. So that doesn't work. I was going, in Chief Architect Premiere, I could click on this and then trim this item here, this object, to this object, but here in the Edit toolbar, that's not a choice. So, this tutorial is not about Chief Architect Premiere, so I'm going to get rid of that. And so what can be done in Pro? Let me take a look. I'll show you this framing member in 3D. And I need to move the camera so we can see the end of it. See, it's just squared off. Okay, well, what can you do? If you really must have a 3D object and have it camfered, then my advice is to make one. We'll go up here to CAD, Boxes, and Rectangular Polyline. I'm going to draw this right beside the framing member. It's just a closed polyline. I'm going to make it 1.5 inches thick, 1.5. The length in this case doesn't matter. But a polyline object like this, I can convert it using the Convert tool here out of the Edit toolbar to a slab. Okay, and I'm going to make it, let's see, I'm going to emulate this piece here, which is an actual framing object. And that one's, the depth is 9.25, so we'll set our slab here to 9.25 in terms of thickness. 9.25 inches. Okay, now the default material, I'm going to go back to the camera view, is concrete, as you see. So in order to make this look like a framing member, I'll use the eyedropper, if I can find it. Move the toolbar over. I don't see the eyedropper. There it is. And I'll use the component mode to do the copying. This has come up in the past where the material paints differently across this than that. I guess I'll make this part of the tutorial. I'm going to open this framing object and go to the Materials tab. There's the material. Now, I need this material, but I need it running the other way, that, you know, longwise. So I'm going to go to Plan Material and copy that material. Make a copy of it using the copy button. Let me back up and do it again. Copy. And go to the Pattern tab. And well, this is kind of an area, so it's not going to, we don't need to reverse that for vector view. So we'll go to the Texture and rotate it 90 degrees. And OK out of that, and that fixes that. Even though, but this is this material and this material, two different materials. But it just paints differently across this framing object than it does this custom slab. Now, onto the part that I was planning to do. We'll click on the polyline, and I'm going to use the Break Line tool from the Edit toolbar. It's usually docked down here like that. I drug it off so that you can see that it's actually labeled Edit Toolbar, and whenever you select something, it appears. And the tool I want to use from that edit toolbar is the brake line tool. Left click on that and then put a brake. Get that snap indicator right in the center. Put a brake there and then camfer it. So you can camfer a polyline, but you can't camfer or chamfer the end of a framing object. So this would be a way for you to do that if you must have it. Okay, that's the totality of the tutorial. And if you needed an angle, then we could just get rid of that break there, and then I'll do it angled like that. I'm not quite sure what you mean by camfer, but you get the idea. This is quite malleable. We'll do it the other way. There, you get the idea. Okay, end of tutorial. Thank you.